going on there, guys? Welcome back to Chop Toys. Not really chopping anything in this video, but taking a nice trip down memory lane. I'm not sure how many of y'all got to experience slot cars growing up, but I did. Me and my dad used to go slot car, I think it was every Wednesday. There was a little track in a strip shopping center next town over, and we used to load up there. And you can see here on my plaque I was second place, 94. Beginner series. That was 1994. That was what a time to be alive. I found this old box while cleaning up my house. I got back into it a little bit around 2000, 2001. There were still a few places around in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I think they've all but disappeared now. But some of this stuff's a little newer, but I think I still have one of my old cars. If not, I think I still have my dad's old car. And got some stuff from around 2000 in there as well. It's still 18 years old, but I was looking through the drawers here. Got some leaky fluids, some tires here, brand new in the bottle. Got 3 sets of brand new tires, that's nice. Got some front tires, O-ring, smaller ones, a spare tire. Lots of brushes. I don't know why I kept some of the used ones mixed in, but I've got new ones. Motors. I don't know if they're any good anymore. I don't even know if they're used. Parma. Solder, stickers, grease, junk. So let's get this thing opened up here and take a look. Alright, so got some tweezers, a couple soldering irons, scale interiors. Because even though it's Lexan, still had to have a scale driver. I got solder and a little container here full of something. Oh, we've got some gears, some more brushes, spacers, pinion gears, small tiny hardware. Not sure what happened here. All the paint came off. This was some kind of custom controller. This was more of the basic stuff that we always had. Not sure if you can even see those. That one's rough. This one still feels good. All the paint's come off in there. Alright, so there's a few cars still in here. I used to have, I think I had 2 Parma chassis. My dad had one. I got one body here, not even complete. Looks like a little Ferrari. Of course, I always love Ferraris. My box was fully custom here with some, I guess that's plastic. I don't know what happened. Oh man, I am missing some cars. So this is one from the early 2000s. This is one of the little mini series. These things were fun because they didn't handle nearly as well as the normal slot cars. Yeah, that's still got a motor in it. Turns over nice. Front wheels feel good. Brushes are a little dirty. But if you have never seen a slot car, man, it's crazy. The tracks, you can't steer. It's just strictly throttle control. And it guides in there, and you've got a positive and a negative, and it goes like that. And it just follows the track around, and you have to not lose your shit on the corners. It was hard to do as a child. Dang it, I don't have nothing anymore. So here's my second place car, pretty much. I don't even know. I think that body's pretty original. Couldn't tell if I was a 7 or a 1, so it turned out to be a 7. Thunderbird. Let me get you a better camera angle of these, because I don't think I can show you right from up there. Extreme close up. So this is my award-winning car here. Kind of NASCAR theme. Window trim painted with Sharpies. Pretty low buck. Just basic Lexan body. This is your basic chassis that he's had. It was 2 pieces held together with your front and then a pin here in the middle. You solder your motor to it. You got your pinion and your spur just like an RC car. You run your power wires from your motor to your brushes. This doesn't even have any brushes on it. And then it was all about weight and speed control and how well you were through the corners. It was very cool thing. I learned a lot about racing that way. You know, even though it was just crap. But it was still a lot of fun. So that was my original race car. I don't know why it got stripped apart. I think maybe I was planning a comeback, but it never happened. So back in the early 2000s, I wanted to get into the drag racing because the track that I used to go to, they had a full-size, like 20-turn track for these, and then they had about a 8 or 10-turn flat track for these. So that made it even more challenging. The NASCAR ones had big bank turns, and you could keep a lot more speed. Those things would go around the turns like that. But this track was pretty flat, so you really had to control your throttle. Those are typically a slower race. But back in the early 2000s, I decided I wanted to do a drag car, because that track that I used to go to as a kid always had a drag strip down one whole side of the building. And so I picked up a 1/24 scale 57 Chevy and a chassis kit, and I made a drag car. Got a block here to put it on. You always had to have a block so it's set nice. Get your scale look there. I thought that was always cool because those guys always ran hard bodies, and they had much more variety of of cars, vehicles, because any model kit you could buy, you could pretty much put on one of these chassis. So it's still the basic same thing. They were just designed to go straight. So your chassis incorporates wheelie bars. Underneath, you got your brushes up front, and they do not swivel like the other ones do. My front tires do not roll, apparently. They're just there for looks. This one has a motor in it. This one's actually got a hot little motor in it, if I remember right. I think that was a $50 hand-wound drag motor that's never been used. It's all corroded and lovely. Not sure what the tape was in there holding the windows in the model. But it's just basic stuff. You got your hot and your cold, run straight to the motor, solder directly to it. And the way it worked was there were car batteries under the track. Everything was 12 volt. And you had your controller, and you plugged into your lane, and it gave power based on your trigger response. So it was all just, there was a little bit you could do with the cars and stuff, but it was mainly driver control, especially with the drag racing. It was all about the reaction time. If you had a crappy controller and gave you a delayed response, you'd never win. So you had to have it hopped up. People were hand wiring controllers and stuff for it. It's just a really, really cool hobby. It's sad that nobody does that kind of stuff anymore. It was a lot of fun. Me and my dad used to go out there, like I said, once a week, racing our little race series. And, I got a little plaque on my toolbox, so that was a big deal for a little kid. But, anyways, I know this is still big. I think it's still popular in Canada. I've seen a lot of, last time I looked for parts, there was a lot of stuff in Canada. So I don't know if they were just then closing their shops down and selling off, or it's still popular up there. But, I just thought I would share it with you guys because, I love hobby stuff. I love automotive stuff. And, I appreciate you watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Follow along on Instagram, Chop Toys. And if you're interested in RC cars, check out my other channel, RC Everyday. So, I'll see you on the next video.